It is a mind blow because I think if you think, okay, what is the present? You kind of can't define it. I mean, are you going to define by what? 1 second, 1 picosecond, 1 nanosecond? How is that? Yeah, like when is that next one, you know? Like who's counting the duration of it, you
Exactly.
know?
That's why I like that one in particular, because it like stops your mind in its tracks right away, because you don't even know how to start thinking about it, because those words, like what they point to this moment, you're like, what does that even mean? What is this moment? Which one? Where is it? Did it start? Did it end? Are we in it? It's like you can't possibly answer it. That's why it works so well. But I was curious to see if you are able to just, if you were to give any answer to it, which is not how you're supposed to work with cones, but what, how would you answer that question if there was supposed to be an answer?
I mean, it's definitely something you gotta think about, right? Because you don't have an
You
intuitive way
can't
of
even, you
understanding. I
can't even
mean,
think about it.
yeah, this moment and
Like
the next moment.
where, yeah, where does the next one begin? You know, and it asks where too. What do you mean where? So it's
Or there is no next moment. There's only the moment.
okay.
It's a continuous, like only when you define it as okay, if you make it into a segment in terms of past, future, and the present,
Mhm.
then you're dividing the timeline, right? Which the timeline doesn't even exist. It's just this one present, right? At least that's how I would like to think of it,
Yeah,
because the
I
human
think you
mind
cracked it.
does all this. I think the human mind does all this abracadabra sort of, you know, make believe like, okay, yeah, I can divide time into the past, the present, and the future, and that makes more sense to me for the mind. Because otherwise, if you say something like that, you're gonna break your mind because like, oh, you mean what? Time doesn't exist? I mean, how you account for any of the stuff that you perceive, right? So the brain makes up that story, like, okay, I'm gonna make this stuff up so that it's easier for the brain to understand. This is kind of
It's
a
like
lot of
it's
the
trying to
fallacies,
quantify it, you know, but it's
right?
unquantifiable essentially.
But the question is, sometimes the difference between, or at least the distance or maybe not the word, maybe it's not distance, but there is a chasm between the truth and yourself. Because the mind, you will sooner go crazy if you don't have an answer for questions such as this, right?
Yeah,
You can make it up. You can do whatever it is. You can do all kind of mental gymnastic, but you need it. If you don't have an answer, then you're gonna go crazy because the mind will not accept a non-answer. It has to have something in which it accepts as okay, I accept this, and therefore everything else fall into place, right? So this is why all the like we live in this kind of illusion all the time because we construct that for ourselves, right? Individual, society, what you observe, we see these patterns, and then we just make up a story with it,
yeah,
you
we're
know?
just trying to explain them away, make up a story, but I don't know, the closer and closer I look, you know, and study things, the more I find out that all these stories that are just, they're just stories made up for the sake of it. It's like, I guess, for our comfort or for some kind of illusion of comprehension of overall reality.